I'm gonna give you, by the end of the call, a literal 30-day plan to make more money. So when I started working for Andy, I said, you know what? I'm gonna build a brand and I'm gonna build relationships. I'm gonna move a little bit slower to go faster. You keep going into the same chapter, running the same play over and over and over again, you'll never get new results. And once you get new results, you literally become a new person. Your identity shifts forever. I'm not just gonna break down that you need to do that. I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. Here's why the social media game will work so well. And here's why, once you guys actually learn how to generate your own business, you're gonna fall in love with it. I'll tell you why. One of them being me. 0 likes, that wasn't a pitch, running this exact play I'm telling you about. 50 likes, page crushing it now. More DMs, more engagement, more relationships, more money. You guys feel me? What's going on, fam? Welcome back to another call. Happy Wednesday. So number one, for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Brendan, and one of Andy's head coaches, been here for going on 3 years. And I want to cut right into it because I know you guys came to get some value. So literally, I'll tell you exactly what we're going to talk about today. Number one, lead generation. That's my main thing. You know, I know that it's the winter time in the car business, and I sold cars before, and I remember how it was during winter, and it slowed down, and it always messed with my identity a little bit, and I didn't like it. You know, so I decided a long time ago, I said, I'm gonna make sure and keep my pipeline so full that no matter what, like I always get great results. You know, and I'll start, and that's where I'll start with today's training, because I train people all the time, and what I noticed is I give very tactical advice, but tactical advice, if not applied, is absolutely useless. It's garbage. So what I like to do is always start and cover some awesome mindset stuff, some mindset principles, right? So I don't like to train anybody without first setting the expectation. I'm a very humble guy, but I need you to know that the result, that what I'm showing you has been applied and worked for me very well. So I've worked for Andy for 3 years. For about the last 18 months, I've been one of the top producers. And then in the past couple months, I've even taken the #1 spot. In July, I took the #1 spot, hit a new record in the company, got a little Rolex watch. And I would credit the vast majority of all of my success to what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. And it doesn't apply just to consulting and coaching. It applies to any industry. But it works really well in automotive, because when you stand out and you're different, you get different results, correct? So first thing I'm going to talk about is mindset, because that's how we got to set the tone here today, okay? So first things first, I always get this from my clients. They always tell me this. They say, dude, I'm doing the work, I'm applying the training, but I'm still not getting the results I want to get. And I've given this a label. I've given that this phase of your life a label, where you go from who you used to be to who you want to be. I call it the transition phase. This is where you go from the old life you used to live to the new life that you want to live. And what's happening is you're leaving your old identity behind, and you're trying to become a new person, and you're doing all this work, and you're second guessing yourself every step of the way. So you're not that person yet, so you're not getting the results, so you're starting to doubt yourself, right? So here's my solution for that. If you want to know my solution to self-doubt, it's very simple. Outwork your self-doubt. You got to work so hard that it would be physically impossible for you to fail. And once you get new results, you literally become a new person. Your identity shifts forever. Like, there's a story about the 4-minute mile. There was a guy that ran a 4-minute mile. It had never been done before. And then the very next Olympics race, like 10 people broke the record, broke the 4-minute mile. Once you do something once, you can do it again. If you've ever hit 20 cars in a month before, or 30 or 40 or 50, it no longer seems unattainable to you, because now you know what's possible. So my goal is, if I teach you guys something today and I give you some actionable strategies, all I want you to do is fall in love with the process, and I want you to literally work so hard that you suffocate self-doubt. Suffocate it. Number 2, you can't control the output. You can only control the input. I'll break down what that means. So Unfortunately, I could say what I'll teach you today will help you sell 50 cars a month. But that's not the case, because I can't guarantee any results, because we can't control whether you get in front of 100 clients and close 90 for 100, or whether you close 10 for 100. Even if you're the best closer, you can't completely control all the variables when you're in a fight, right? But what you can control is the input. You can control how many reps you do. And I'm a very, the way my brain works is I'm a very straightforward guy. Like, all I want to know is this: what's the KPIs, what's the averages, what numbers do I have to hit what targets do I have to hit in order to hit my targets? That would be the ultimate problem that you got to solve. So for me, for example, I track my KPIs, and if you're in automotive, what I believe the KPIs would be calls or ups, appointments, and then sales, and then closes. Right? Matter of fact, I'd call it proposals. So ups, proposals, closes. Or calls, appointments, proposals, closes. Because here's the thing, right? If you get more ups, or if you make more calls, or if you set more appointments, you're going to naturally get more proposals, which is going to naturally lead to more closes, and so forth. Does that make sense to everybody? So number 3, that leads me into number 3, which is I don't get emotional about the results. The difference between a high-value person, and we got mostly men on this call. Apologies if I'm wrong. I know Jesse's basically a freaking dude. I mean, she's a savage. If any of you guys know Jesse, you already know the deal. So the difference between a high-value man, and I should just say high-value person, and a low-value, low-frequency person is what? Well, when someone who's low value, with low self-confidence, when they don't feel like doing something, it doesn't get done. When they wake up in the morning to go to the gym and they don't feel like it, they don't go and they skip. Whenever they don't feel like working very hard, they skip. Whenever they feel like not following through on their commitments that they made to someone, they skip it. They drop the ball, right? Well, a high-value man has discipline, and they don't let their emotions affect their actions. See, because what happens is I train salespeople all the time. I say, hey, if you want to win, let's define your KPIs. Now let's go hit your KPIs, hit your targets so you can hit your targets. Let's hit your input targets so you can hit your output targets. Let's make X amount of calls, X amount of service visits per day. Let's do X amount of social media posts, and then you're going to get X amount of results typically. And it might be a little delayed. Sometimes the results come sooner, sometimes they take a little bit longer, but they're coming. Does that make sense? But the problem is, a guy will get 2 days into running this plan, knowing that it's worked for thousands of other people, and then he'll stop on day 3. And I'll say, bro, why do you stop? Well, I didn't feel like it. Well, that would be a problem. That would be a very big problem. So you have to get unemotional about the results, because sometimes they take longer than normal. And sometimes they don't come in the way that you would want to. Sometimes God tests you a little bit to see if what you say you want, you really actually want. Okay? Here's another one. And this is actually my favorite one of all. All right, guys, people ask me all the time, Brendan, how can I get closer to you, Andy, the Elliott Group, so I can go to the next level? So we just dropped our newest program called ETA Plus. And it's a really cool opportunity to get all the coaching that the Elliott Group offers, and also get really close to me as well, so I can personally coach you too. ETA, you get access to all of our exclusive content, Zoom calls every single week, you live stream every single Elliott event we do 12 events per year. Also, when you join with me, you're gonna join my personal community, I'm gonna coach you, and then also you'll be a part of a group of like-minded men and women that are going to the next level. So if you guys wanna join, I'm gonna put my cell phone number right here on the video. I just want you to text me ETA, okay? And I'll reach out to you, I'll get you all the information. It's super cheap and affordable. It's designed to help every salesperson and business owner level up and go to the next level. Let's get back to the video. Thinking long-term instead of thinking short-term. Ask anyone who I work with who's a client of mine, and I've probably told them at least 100 times that I like to put tomorrow's money over today's money. I'll tell you right now who's the most dangerous person in the room right now and the most dangerous person at your dealership. That would be the person that participates in activities that have the highest amounts of leverage, which that leads perfectly into actually what I'm going to talk about today, which is relationships and social media, which is how I'm going to teach you how to generate more leads. Relationships and social media. But let me explain really quick what leverage means so you guys understand. So I could give you two salespeople. And by the way, there's three types of salespeople. There's finders, closers, and builders. A closer is someone who can get a deal done, right? Someone who can influence someone to close right there, and then they're good. Finders and builders are the most dangerous types of salespeople. Finders and builders are 7-figure plus earners with big pipelines of customers that they can call on for favors all the time. Because finders know how to find, nurture, and utilize relationships. That's what that means. Find, nurture, and utilize. You got to be able to find them. You got to be able to nurture them, but you also got to know how to utilize relationships in order to get yourself ahead. So if I took two salespeople and I got a guy over here who's a closer, and every month he starts at 0, sells 30 cars, goes back to 0 the following month, sells 30 more cars. He takes ups all the time, but he doesn't participate in long-term delayed gratification activities like building relationships and building their social media. In year 2, when I got this other sales guy that maybe moves at a little bit slower pace, maybe he sells 20 cars a month, right? But he's focused on building his pipeline, taking care of his customers, growing his social media following. Year 2, this guy hasn't been taking care of his customers, so he's got to start from 0 again. And this guy has a pipeline of people who send him referrals every month and has a social media account that brings him at least 10 appointments, again, which leads to more proposals, which leads to more sales, right? So I like to participate in activities that have the highest form of leverage. So when I started working for Andy, I said, you know what? I'm going to build a brand, and I'm going to build relationships. I'm going to move a little bit slower to go faster, right? It's called slowing down to speed up. If you're taking notes, I would write that down. Slowing down to speed up, because as a salesperson, your brain works like this. Dude, I'm freaking behind. I got to sell right now. I got to close a deal. You guys know what I'm talking about? But being able to carve some time out, have a little bit of discipline to carve out an hour, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, not a big commitment, to be able to nurture some relationships, build your social media, will have you having a record year for every year coming. It's like planting a seed. At some point, it's going to start to pay you back, okay? So first things first, relationships, okay? I always teach people this. When it comes to money, money doesn't grow on trees. It grows in other people's pockets. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. So what I always say is your goal ultimately with whatever sales job you're in is to build a book of business of people that know, like, and trust you. I'm going to break down how, I'm not just going to break down that you need to do that. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So that way you guys can actually go apply it. And if you aren't currently doing this, it's going to explode your sales, I'm telling you. So the way I work relationships is like this. This is the way I view relationships. I need to learn how to identify, nurture, and utilize my relationship. So here's how I did it, okay? I use Google Drive, and I use my notes tab on my phone to track things, right? I track my activity, my KPIs daily. I track a lot of different things with my notes. And, I use a CRM too, but I use this for personal accountability. And I created this list that I want you to write down. And I called it a top clients list, okay? And here's how you can apply this to your business. So you go through the whole month and you sell 10, 15, 20 cars or so. And everybody on this call can remember a time when they sold a car to somebody that they really, really enjoyed being around. Raise your hand if you've ever done the business with somebody you would love to keep around and continue to do business with. Let me tell you what most people do when they have a customer like that. which is a blessing from above to get great customers because they're very rare. Just like finding great salespeople, it's very rare to find amazing customers. But what most salespeople do is they have a guy come in who's a business owner and he buys a truck and he's awesome. And then you let that guy go and you don't talk to him for a year. And that relationship goes from super awesome to now it's a year later. You'd like to reach out to that guy, but you haven't done anything for him. You haven't nurtured their relationship, so there's no more relationship. And now if you reach out to him, you're being transactional, not relational. So here's what I do. When I go through my month, and by the way, we're all salespeople, so what's the number one thing you got to protect as a salesperson? It's your time. Protect your time. Don't spend extra time on low value customers. And that doesn't mean simply how much money they make. It means are they givers or takers? You have those customers that are like, I need a $5,000 discount, and I'm not going to refer you anybody, blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking about putting those clients on your top client relationships list. I'm talking about the best clients you've ever worked with. You create a list in your notes, on a Google Drive, wherever you want to put it, and you say, these relationships, I'm going to nurture them, take care of them, build relationships, and get massive referrals from all of them. And all of them, I'm going to make it my mission to make sure they never buy a car from anybody else. Now, let me explain exactly how I do that. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but there's a tool out there that can actually make you 10x what you're currently making right now. You ready? It's called Google Calendar. Dude, game changer, I'm telling you. Google Calendar will make you rich. So here's what I do. Here's what I would do if I was you. If I was on the car lot today and I sold a car to a gentleman that's dressed like Jim Lopez, who looks like, got that suit on looking like freaking $1 million, I'd be like, dude, Jim Lopez is a badass. He just bought a truck for me. I'm going to make sure that me and Jim become best buds and he never does business with anybody else. So Jim comes in, buys a car. Me and him become friends on Facebook. I post a video. I would go to my Google Calendar the minute after I sold that, and I would set a call for 24 hours from the day I sold it. And then I'd set another call for 2 weeks from the day I sold it. And then 30 days after I sold it, I'd set a task on my Google Calendar to send him something in the mail that aligns with something he's interested in. Let's say he likes motocross. I'm going to send him something. Let's say he likes coffee shops. I'm going to send him a gift card. And here's my goal. Has Jim ever been treated that way from a car salesman before? The answer would be no. I can personally ensure that, okay? So what does that mean? So that means that when Jim goes out and he hears people from now on talking about wanting to buy a car, who's he going to refer him to? He's going to go, bro, there's this guy named Jim Lopez that sells cars. I bought my car from him. This dude gives me so much value. He calls me every couple weeks just to give me referrals for my business, send me gifts, check up on me and my wife, ask if any of my family and friends need new cars or need insights on the car business. This is the best guy I've ever done business with in the automotive industry. Now, here's how this becomes cool. Here's how this becomes planting a seed. Imagine when you have 1,000 people that are doing that. Imagine the compound effect if in a 20 to 50 mile radius of your dealership, you had 1,000 people doing that. And 1,000 people, to answer your question, yes, it'd take you some time to build a list that big. But would that be worth it? Would that be awesome? Now, let me explain something to you. There's two different types of things on the customer journey. There's two different parts of the customer journey. I want you to write this down. There's customer service and customer experience. Customer service means I go to Jim, I buy a car, he sends me home, I get all the paperwork, and I get everything that was agreed upon in the deal. That's called customer service. Customer experience is how Jim made me feel when we were doing business together. And that's the difference between great salespeople and lazy, broke salesmen that never get ahead. Everybody in the world, all your competition, every dealership within a 100-mile radius of your dealership delivers customer service. Whether it's good or bad, they deliver it. What they don't do is deliver great customer experience. That's where you can be different. Customer experience is what the customer is going to remember. So my goal has always been this, right? I know that if I run this play for long enough, I'm going to build what's called relationship capital. Write that down, relationship capital. So I always tell a joke that triggers a lot of salespeople. They don't believe me, but listen, this is my truth. You don't have to, like, whether you believe it or not, I actually am able to I'm able to cash the check. So like, just take it with however you want to take it. But you need to build this for yourself too. So I always say I have at least a couple dozen people at all times on my cell phone I could call right now and say, hey, what's up, brother? I got a bonus I got to hit here for the Ellie group. Can you wire me $100,000 real quick? Done. I'll do it. And that might sound confusing to you, but what that means is I built so much relationship capital with these people that they would do anything to help me out. See, there's what's called a relationship bank account. I want you to write that down. This is how you look at all relationships in business. Relationship bank account. If I go to make an ask, but I haven't put enough deposits into a relationship bank account, when I go to withdraw the money, it ain't gonna come out. Like if I got $200 in my bank account and I try to pull out 500, the bank won't give it to you. I tried it when I was 18, it doesn't work. So what you have to do with all these relationships you're building is you gotta put so much value into them, so many deposits of acts of service, encouraging words, support, referrals, however you decide to give people value. That when you go to make your ask, you go to ask for a referral, a shout out on social media, a recommendation. They're like, dude, I got you, I owe you. So, whatever you need, I got you, right? That's how it works. Is this clicking with you guys so far? Good. You're all muted, but I'm hoping so. I see a lot, I'm trying to I'm reading your facial expressions. Y'all look engaged. So last thing, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is social media. What I apply to relationships, the way I work is I call it jab, jab, right hook. Okay? Now what that means is this. Instead of being like everybody else that just comes straight up to you and asks you for something, I'm like, hey, value, 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 offer. Boom. And when I make my offer, I get a yes because I didn't approach it like everybody else. Okay? All right. Now here's the next part. Social media. When I train people on social media, especially in the car business, they always have resistance. Like for some reason, man, like they just, because, and here's what it is. They're stuck in that short-term thinking. They're like, well, this will take away from, what I'm trying to do this month. Not realizing that if you keep going into the same chapter, running the same play over and over and over again, you'll never get new results. Okay? Here's why social media is going to help you blow up your business as a car salesman. I want you to write this down, and this will make a whole lot of sense to you. It's called one-to-one versus one-to-many. Okay? One-to-one versus one-to-many. This is how the compound effect works. Think about this for a second. So let's say James Schubert sells me a car and he gives me the world's greatest customer service. And James goes home one day and he's like, you know what? I spent 3 hours of my time, which time is the most valuable asset for a salesperson, with Brendan, and I crushed it. Like I was in flow state. I was saying all the right things. He loved me. Well, guess what? James and me, I now know that was a one-to-one connection, that James is an amazing salesperson. And I might go tell friends and stuff about how awesome James is. But if James had a big social media following, he could document that sale, post it on Facebook to where it's going to reach 500 people. Now he lets 500 people know that James Schubert is the greatest salesperson on planet Earth, right? How long would it take you in a one-to-one interaction to tell 500 people how awesome you are at your job? Probably like at least 3 years. A long time. So remember how we talked about leverage? One-to-one versus one-to-many, social media just gives you more leverage, okay? Now here's what's cool. I'm going to teach you how to, I'm going to give you, are you guys cool with homework? You guys cool with like actionable assignments to go make more money today? I was going to say raise your hand, or I'm keeping it right here in the pocket. I'm going to keep it as my secret, okay? Okay, I'm going to give you, by the end of the call, a literal 30-day plan to make more money. Like I will give you actionable, easy stuff that all you have to do is, guess what? Use your Google Calendar, log it, do it daily, make more money 30 days. That's how easy this is, okay? So write this down. Marketing is the right message to the right person at the right time. That's all it is. And this leads us into why most people fail on social media when it comes to selling more cars, okay? Here's why. What most people's social media timeline looks like is this: offer, 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 offer. Hey guys, I sell cars over here. Here's my phone number. Text me if you need anything. Hey guys, I got this car for sale. Don't miss it. It's going to sell fast. Hey guys, come see me, blah, 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 blah. 30 days straight. Offer, 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 offer. So I told a guy the other day that I was coaching. I have a personal client that does about 50 cars a month right now. And I was coaching him the other day and I said, bro, you want to know the problem with your social media? Every single time you post, it's an offer. You know what offers appeal to? People that are in the market for a car right now, today. That's the only thing, only type of people that your posts about selling cars appeals to. I said, how many people do you know are in the market for a car 365 days a year? I would love to know that person. I'd love to have him in my contact book. I would love to have that person in my book. Somebody who buys a car every single day. But unfortunately, most aren't. So the problem is, every time you post, there's what's called an algorithm. So if I post, and every time I post, let's say the first 3 times I make posts, they go in front of Cullen's page, right? And Cullen doesn't like it because it's an offer, so he doesn't engage on it. Well, guess what? After 3 days, the algorithm's like, okay, even though Brendan and Cullen are friends on Facebook, we're no longer going to show Brendan's post to Cullen. So then a year goes by, Cullen hasn't seen my post. He forgot I sell cars. One day Cullen goes, I want to buy a car. Right message to the right person at the right time. He goes on Google because he forgot I sell cars. He Googles car salesman, goes and buys a car. I see his post and I'm like, Cullen, what the fuck, bro? Like, I sell cars, dude. Dude, I forgot about you, man, because all you do is make offers, right? I forgot you're even a human being. I thought you were just a robot car salesman. You know what I'm saying? So here's the solution. We have to do one thing. We have to understand one thing. Write this down. The goal of social media is not to sell stuff. The goal is to get more people to know, like, and trust you. It's that simple. That's a bomb. Don't forget it. Remember I told you that, all right? So here's what we got to do. Very simple. Here's the 30-day game plan I'm going to give you for free. That's going to show you how to crush it, okay? We have to understand a couple things. Number one, we got to learn what platform to dominate, because as much as I'd love to tell you that your game plan is to go out and post 5 times a day on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, Threads. If I told you to do all that stuff, none of you guys would do it, because that's way too much. That's way too confusing. So we have to choose the correct platform to make money on, right? So here's what you got to think about. The demographic that typically buys cars, the most cars, is about 30 to 70 years old. They got kids, grandkids, aunts, uncles, cousins, and they buy cars every couple years, right? And they're typically co-signers for the younger generation. So if I were to choose a platform that targeted all my ideal customers in that 30 to 70 age range, you guys want to know what it is? It's Facebook. Facebook is the money platform. Master Facebook, build a great following on Facebook, make way more money. So, second thing, the formats. Every platform has its own formats. There's 5 formats for Facebook that you need to write down. Short captioned posts. Write that down, short captioned posts. I'll show you what a short caption post looks like. Looks something kind of like this right here. So a short caption post is when you type it and it's short enough to where it fits with a backdrop on the back. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You guys ever seen these before? Okay, so post type number 1, first format, short caption post, caption with a photo, like a caption post with a photo, which would look like so. Photo, caption. Number 3, reel. You post a reel. You could do a live, or you could post a story. Those are the 5. So here's what you got to understand. There's the formats the formats matter. Like the formats that perform the best on Facebook are the short caption ones like this. Just like that. Those perform the best on Facebook. And what we have to understand is our whole goal with any post we make, there's one goal. You ready? It's to create shareability. It's to get other people to share our message. Because how in the world, let's say James has 500 friends on Facebook, right? Well, how can James make more money? Well, here's what he needs to do. He needs to nurture the audience he currently has, but he also needs to grow his audience. Does that make sense? He needs more friends in his local network that are on Facebook. So how does he do that? He has to post things like this that will get his current friends to share it to their profile, to fall in front of their friends, to see James, go, oh, I know this, I like this guy, and go follow him and become his friend. And over time, if James goes from having 500 friends to 1,000 to 1,500 to 5,000, well, now James is not just reaching 500, he's reaching 5,000. And if you could go from having 500 people seeing your message and knowing, liking, and trusting you to 5,000, well, now you're going to make a whole lot more money. Now we're playing the averages game, and we're way more likely to sell on social media. Does that make sense? Okay. So you got the platform, you got the formats. Now here's the last piece. This is the piece that's what we're going to put into action today. It's called the buckets. Okay. So I want you to literally on your paper draw like 4 circles from left to right, the left side of the page to the right side of the page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And I'll tell you exactly what most people are doing wrong with social media. You have 4 buckets, right? And you can make 4 to 5. But the goal is to figure out what are the best buckets for you to post from. Most people post from the bucket of what? Car sales. Selling cars. The problem is that's the only bucket that they ever post from. Does that make sense to you guys? So every day they have these buckets in front of them of different topics they could post about, but they go, ooh, let me take one out of the car sales bucket, post that one. Let me take another one out of the car sales bucket, post that one. Let me take 10 more out of that one, post that one. So the problem is they never get people to know, like, and trust them because people always view them as just a salesman and nothing else. They don't even view them as a personality or a personal brand, right? So here's what you do. You go and you say, well, my target demographic is 30 to 70 years old. What are my interests and hobbies? What are some things I have an alignment with my audience? So let me tell you some things that have worked really well for some of my clients. Like I use my client Zach as a perfect example because, again, he's a 50-car hand that's using social media at a very high level. Like I can actually show you the effects of running this play and what it's going to do for your social media. So this is my client Zach, and have a look at his reach, like how much his reach has grown in the past 30 days. If you can't read it, I know it's a little bit hard to read over the screen. He's got 430,000 views in the past 28 days, a couple hundred new followers. He's up 13,000 engagement over the past 28 days on video. Like, dude, the guy's crushing it, right? And he's selling cars on Facebook like a madman right now. And he really likes it because he used to have to make a couple hundred phone calls, and now he posts on Facebook and sells cars. It's pretty cool. He's now utilizing leverage instead of brute force all the time, right? So you make the buckets. Here's the buckets that I told Zach to use. I'll give you the exact ones. I said, bro, here's your buckets. Car sales, parenting, physical fitness and personal wellness, and inspirational messages. And then I'll give you one more. I'll give you 5. So I'll give you 5 buckets today. Last one could be community. And I'll tell you how this works. So now you got 5 buckets. Just to recap. Car sales, we're still going to post about it. Don't worry. We're still going to pitch them. We're going to sell all of them. Okay? Your call to actions are going to do way better now because people are actually going to see your posts again. Car sales, parenting, fitness and wellness, community, and inspirational messages. Okay? So I'll explain to you how this works. You're going to do this. You're going to basically do 6 sets of 5. Just write that down. 6 sets of 5 over the next 30 days. This is how we're going to run this play. 6 sets of 5. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to start this morning. And you're gonna go and you're gonna look at your buckets, your 5 buckets. And you're gonna go, okay, what bucket am I gonna start with? And I'm gonna go in like clockwise order. Like I'm gonna go, let's say I start on the middle bucket, like the one that's fitness, and that's where I'm gonna start. And then tomorrow it's gonna be whatever bucket is on the right of it. And then the next one, it's gonna start over. You see what I mean? You guys understanding the play? Middle bucket, if you start on the second one, it's bam, 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 restart, bam, 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 bam. Okay, let's say we started with fitness. Here's exactly what we'd do. We'd go, okay, today we're posting out of the fitness bucket. So what do we have to do? We got to come up with an idea. Well, we got to do 2 things. We got to come up with the concept and the format. The message, you could call it the message and the format. Now let me show you how we come up with the message, okay? Because a lot of people say, dude, I can't post because I don't have any ideas. Well, listen, Mr. 1974, there's an app that I will plug you guys on. It's called ChatGPT. And if I wanted to make a fitness post today and I lacked creativity, I would literally go, I want to make a post about fitness. Give me 20 topics to talk about that are going to be engaging on my Facebook timeline. And look at that. This thing freaking is a genius. It just gives me ideas like crazy. Now look, here's the thing. Fit for business, how fitness transforms your work performance. Amazing topic. That would give a lot of your clients value. 5-minute workouts for busy people. That's a good one. How I found mental clarity through fitness. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? So you would take this and you would not copy and paste this on your Facebook. It would do crap if you did that, because ChatGPT at the end of the day is still a robot. So it has good topics, but the captions are going to be like this. Well, hello audience. My name's Ryan Glosser. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I hit my work. It's like it doesn't sound natural at all. So what you do is, though, you take the idea, you go, okay, let me write a caption, and you're going to write a caption. You're going to tell a story from your personal life that's going to connect with your audience. By the way, what does Andy always say about closers? What do great closers do the best? They paint pictures and tell stories. You guys taking what's in your brain every day and putting it on a caption on a Facebook post and learning how to tell stories about yourself that make people relate to you, it's going to make you a better closer. If you want to become a better speaker, here's what you got to do. Speak more, write more, read more. That's what you got to do. So not only will this make you more money and get you in front of more people, but it'll actually make you better at communicating, because next time you're sitting down with the family, you're going to know what resonates with them because you know what does well on Facebook. You're going to know what messages, what stories to tell them about your own personal life to connect with them because you know what people like to see on your timeline. Does that make sense? This is very intentional. This is not, I got great news for you guys. We're no longer winging it in life. We got a game plan that is proven to work as long as you work the plan. The plan works if you work the plan. All right, so here's what we do. We got the message from ChatGPT, busy 5-minute workouts for busy people. Now we choose the format. So we could do a short caption, a reel. We could do a caption with the photo. We could do a live. We could do a story. We could do whatever we want. We pick a format, bam, we post it. That's day 1. Now let me tell you what's going to happen when you make that post, especially if you've been posting business for the past 7 years. If all you've been talking about is car sales. This post is going to blow up. It's going to get a lot of engagement. And you're going to be like, what the hell just happened? Well, you know what just happened? Your friends and family that have been seeing you post about car sales went, oh my God, Jason has a personality. Holy shit, he's not just a car salesman. Like he's actually a cool dude. And they're gonna go, great job, Jason, keep kicking ass. Great job, keep pushing, man. Thanks for the value, blah, 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 blah. And guess what Jason just did? If that post reached 50 people, he just deposited into 50 people's relationship bank account. He gave them value. He just grew his relationship capital, okay? Now guess what we're gonna do on day 2? Can you guys guess? We're gonna go from bucket 2 to bucket 3. The next one. This one's inspirational messages. We're going to go back to ChatGPT, or if you're a creative guy, you're thriving right now. The goal is to get creative and to start to understand what people like, right? You're going to go and you're going to literally make another post out of that next bucket. You pick the message, the format, you post it. Day 5, community. Day 1. Now, check this out. Now we're on day 4. Guess what day it is? Time to post about the car business, baby. Time to freaking do a little call to action. Now, hold on a little bit. We're not going to go right back into calling action and calling people to buy. Instead, we're going to demonstrate that we're experts in our field. So instead of from now on making videos like this, hey guys, what's up? In case you forgot, I sell cars. They haven't forgot, by the way. They won't forget in 4 days. Hey guys, what's up? It's, Cullen. If you guys need me, reach out to this number. Don't do that. Here's what you do. ChatGPT. How can I give my audience value on the car business and insights? Giving value to your audience, buying strategies. 3 things to avoid when buying cars. Behind the scenes, how we help you find the right car. Understanding credit. 3 things to avoid to have great credit when you go buy a car, to get a lower interest rate when you buy a car. So now imagine, this is way more engaging content than just asking people to come buy from you. You're demonstrating by giving them value that you know what you're doing. So now I'd make a video. Hey guys, this is 3 things to avoid if you wanna have great credit when you come to buy a car. Number 1, and then you practice giving value, practice becoming like us, like the LE group, like being able to share value, being able to get good at speaking, good at delivering value. And then guess what? That post will crush. You go to the next bucket, next bucket, next bucket. So do you guys understand my analogy when I said for the next 30 days, we're going to do 6 sets of 5? We're going to roll through the 5 buckets 6 times over, 6 times in a row. So here's your homework assignment. For the next 30 days, you're going to run the 5 bucket rotation for 6 times over. And here's what I want you to do. I got a challenge for any of you guys who want to participate and have some sort of accountability. You're going to go, and if your Facebook is not on professional mode, I want you to learn how to do that. There's a little 3 dots over here in the corner. You can scroll on these settings and you can hit turn on professional mode. If you already have it on, when you go to your homepage, it says see dashboard. You can see your dashboard. And now here's what's going to happen. It'll show you your views and how many followers you're gaining per month. If you guys want to participate in this challenge, here's what I want you to do. At the end of the call, I'm going to give you my cell phone number. You guys can screenshot this once you get professional mode on. It'll show you your stats. And then 30 days from now, let's take another look and let's see how many more people you're reaching. Okay? If you're up for the challenge, then I'll give you my cell phone number at the end of this call. We're almost wrapped up here. You post from the buckets, and that's cool. Does that make sense to everybody? This is a very easy, simple play that is guaranteed to grow your income. You know how I know it works? Because I know that most people buy a new car every 2 to 3 years. And I know that if you go from having 200 people seeing your message per month to 2,000, that's going to 10x your likelihood of being in front of people that want to buy cars at some point. Okay, Carlos asked me, can you give me an example of the parenting bucket? Absolutely. So I actually did this with a client the other day. And this guy, for example, is a personal client of mine. He makes about 7 figures a year selling insurance. And he was literally doing the same thing I'm teaching you guys right now. He was pitching everybody, okay? So I helped him launch his first post. We did a one-on-one call. I helped him make his first post on social media that wasn't a pitch. I will show you his timeline right now. Okay, look at all his timeline. 2 likes, one of them being me. 5 likes, me, one of them being me. 0 likes. You know why these are getting zero engagement? Because they're all pitches. They're all boring financial stuff. So me and him have a meeting, and I said, make a post about kids. So we went to ChatGPT and said, give me some good posts about parenting. This was his first post he ever made. By the way, that was not a pitch. Raising great kids is about guiding them with love, teaching them resilience, and showing them the power of kindness every day. First post that wasn't a pitch, running this exact play I'm telling you about. 50 likes, page crushing it now. More DMs, more engagement, more relationships, more money. You guys feel me? Okay, so that's an example of the parenting bucket. Now, I got one more thing for you guys. And good question. Vidit. Vidit? Is your name Vidit? I hope I got that right. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I apologize. It looks like Vidit to me. So if you're not a parent, switch it out with a different bucket. Sports. I don't know, like gardening, whatever. Pick a hobby. Pick any hobby that it's relevant to your life. The goal is not to be inauthentic. The goal is to start to share your own personal life with people so they start to trust you. Here's why the social media game will work so well. And here's why, once you guys actually learn how to generate your own business, you're going to fall in love with it. I'll tell you why. If you brand yourself correctly, you will build trust with your audience. Because remember this till you die. Every time I share something personal about myself with my audience, whether I've met them before or not, they feel like they can trust me more. The more you know about someone, the more you feel like you can trust them, even if you've never even met them before. So the first time I ever got a self-generated Facebook lead, I'll tell you what happened. I felt like every time I sold a car, it was always an up, right? It was always a lot up, as we call it in the car business. And I'd have to negotiate and haggle and tell these people how good I am and how good my integrity is, blah, 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 blah. Tell them all, get them to know me. A sale with an up would take 3 to 4 hours because there was so much negotiating, haggling, second guessing, uncertainty, because they don't know me, they know my dealership, but they don't know me. The first time I self-generated a lead off my Facebook timeline, shit you not, the lady walks in and she goes, hey, I've been watching your stuff on Facebook for a long time now. It's amazing. I'm looking at a minivan. I'm like, no way, I got a minivan. I pull it up, we do a test drive. I give her first pencil. She's like, let's do it. I trust you. You're a great young man. And I'm like, what is it? Where did you come from? But what it is there was trust already, right? The more you brand yourself, the less selling you have to do. So that's why you're going to fall in love with it, okay? Now I'm going to give you one more strategy that's going to help you sell more cars, okay? And this one is what I call likes to leads. If you've never heard of this before, you're going to kill it with this strategy. So one thing that's very good to do is post testimonial videos with your customers. So like when you post out of that car sales bucket, and a lot of you guys might be thinking, hey, what about if I sell cars like every day or something? What if I sell, say I sell 2 cars today, do I post those too? Well, let me tell you my solution, my opinion. You could post them on your story. Your stories are better for that, right? Post them on your story, give them a shout out on your story. Then maybe when you post out of the automotive bucket, like let's say it's 2 or 3 days from that date, post it as a group shout out. Hey, past couple days, car sales. We got number 1, we got this guy, tag him in the post, right? Now, here's a really good way. Now, when you get an especially good customer that's super fired up to have worked with you, here's what you're gonna do. Hey Ryan, before I leave, this has been an awesome experience. Can I ask you one favor, please? Can we do a quick testimonial video together? I'd love to be able to document your experience and be able to, kind of help you out. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna get a video, pull my phone out. Hey guys, what's up? It's Brendan. So today, I actually got the honor of serving Ryan on a Honda Ridgeline, a new Honda. So Ryan, I wanna ask you, man, how was your experience today doing business with me? Did you enjoy it? Can you share your thoughts? Ryan, dude, this guy's awesome, man. You gotta come see this guy. He's amazing, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to serve you. Fist bump. Guys, you heard it here. If you need anything at all, I'm happy to help you and serve you and your family at the highest level. Shoot me a text. Here's my phone number below. Hope you guys have a good day. Bam. Now here's what I do. I go, Ryan, real quick, one more thing. I wanna post this. Is it okay if I friend you on Facebook and I tag you in the post? Boom. So Ryan you have to make sure before he leaves that he accepts your friend request on Facebook. You send him a request, you find his profile, he accepts it. Now, here's what happens. When I post that video and I tag Ryan in it, since we're Facebook friends now, it's gonna show up on Ryan's profile, which means that all of Ryan's friends are gonna see it, which means that one of 2 things is gonna happen, and we're gonna make sure both happen. People are gonna go friend request you because they see that you just helped one of their friends. And contrary to your belief, contrary to what you guys think, buying a car is a very special experience for a lot of people. Because you sell cars every day, so if you do something daily, you kind of lose the excitement, right? But it's actually a very big experience for a lot of people. So they're excited. They're gonna have friends commenting, dude, this guy's awesome, blah, 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 blah. So you're gonna go and you're gonna comment on everybody who comments and everybody who likes all your posts. You're gonna go send them a DM and say, hey Cullen, thanks so much for reaching out. I really appreciate you showing love on my post with Ryan, getting him in that new Honda Ridgeline. If you ever need anything from me, here's my cell phone number, text me, I'm happy to help you. Bam. And I do that, wait about 24 hours for the post to sit and get liked and get engagement, and then I go through and I do that, okay? So just to recap, 30-day assignment, buckets, 6 sets of 5. If you want to connect with me, screenshot it, send me over the engagement you're getting right now. Let's look at it again in about 28 days and see how much more money you're going to be making. And then one last thing, and then I'll wrap up here. So when I sold cars, what I created was I created non-negotiables. Because remember how I told you, you got to not get emotional about the results? You got to just become obsessed with the input. When I sold cars, I had a rule. I knew that the greatest salespeople are the trifecta. There's a trifecta for lead generation. The service drive, the phones, and social media is a trifecta for lead generation. So I said, what targets do I want to hit every single day in the car business to make sure I hit all my goals? So I created a plan of non-negotiables. I said every day, whether I'm sick, tired, unmotivated, feeling lazy, feeling weak, I'm going to get this done. 50 calls a day, 5 service drive visits per day, and 1 social media post per day. Not unattainable, not insane, but it requires consistency. So if you want another challenge, let's do the social media plan. And then if you really want to go to the next level, for the next 30 days, follow the social media plan, but also make 50 calls a day, cold calls. We got some badass cold call scripts on the platform. Number 2, service drive. Hit the service drive 5 times a day. Set an alarm on your phone. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Let me just go check back there, see if there's anybody back there. If there is, I'm going to talk to him. 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you're done. That's it. So last thing, I'll give you guys my number, and then I got to roll. So 618-305-4070 if you want to shoot me a text. 618-305-4070. We can connect, we can kick some ass, and we can win. I hope you got a lot of value. And again, if you want to run the play with me, dude, I'm happy to connect. I want to serve you guys and help you out however we can. So hope y'all enjoyed the call. Let's go.
Let's go, Brendan. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you next week for Coach Selena.
Thanks, Brendan.
Let's go. Later, guys. All right, guys, thanks again for watching another video. And one thing I want you to know is that every single week I'm putting out free value that's going to help you go to the next level in sales, personal branding, and as a leader as well. So if you guys are enjoying the content, I want you to like the video, comment below, let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this training, and then subscribe and share with your friends if you know somebody who wants to level up. And lastly, if you guys need help from me at all, anything, I want you to text me. I'm going to put my phone number right here. You can text me with any concerns, questions, anything you want, and I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching another video. I'll see you guys next time.